Let's get it. Vader Games in the building. You know what it is. Let me get all these things off the screen. It's so messy. I'm obviously no longer on camera soon, so let's take that off. Let me get well seated here. All right. You know what it is. Vader Games TV. I'm Vader Games. First things first. My peoples come first. My people here, no longer here. Thought of, remembered. Now, this is Vader Games TV, episode 102. 102. Where the episodes are adding up. They're adding up. I'm trying to do this at least once a week. I've fallen off at times. For those of you that didn't know, quad surgery this past summer. The rehab's been intense. Added to a little bit of the inconsistency with me being able to do the show, and then on top of that, life, kids, wife, work. Not all in that order, but in that category. Now, I'm going to do this, and I do this every show. I remind you, if you're new, you hit that like button. If you're new, look at how the setup is. I'm going to spend 5 minutes per topic. All right. Ooh, let me take the sound off. My bad. Let me take that off. All right. 5 minutes per topic. Here are the topics that I'm going to go through. And sometimes based off the conversation with all of you, a couple added things get into the mix. But you know what I'm going to address? I'm going to address this right here. I'm going to address this. And I'm speaking to the doubters. I'm speaking to the haters. I'm speaking to the rivals that look at football like there's only one way to play it. They look at football as you can only be good if you're a complete footballer. They don't want to look at specialists. They don't want to look at men that have actually men and women, because it's played by everyone. They don't want to look at players that just maximize what they're able to do. Haaland keeps dunking, using a North American term, using an NBA term, ball. Haaland keeps dunking on his doubters and haters. Roy Keane, you specifically. But I'm going to get to all of that. Now, what I like to do when I start the show, I got to shout out the very first comment. That person took time, saw the notification of when this video was going live, either message before I even went live, hit that like button before I even went live, or took the time, came through, and want to say what up to this week, this show, this episode. I got to shout out my man, Dre P, in the building. You know what it is, Dre P? Dre P has to say, City playing more like the City we know. So more confident on City winning all three. And let's say 6 weeks ago. Okay, you're more confident with that. But this is the Prem. We'll respect any outcome. That's what I'm talking about, Dre P. That's what I'm talking about. You respect the opponent. Now you can back a club. Say I expect us to win. Yeah, I got Fulham this week. It's going to be tough. I know what they represent. I know the games that they've made difficult for others. But I'm winning. And I respect them. I respect that, Dre P. That's what I'm talking about. All these rivals that want to say we're playing the underdog. No, you know when the underdog's being played. You can hear it. You know those rivals that play that underdog. You know it. All right. Let me also go on to say, Dre P, I think now the pressure is off of Liverpool. Facts. It is off Liverpool. That's why I had to address that over here. I had to address that. They will actually play better. I agree with you. Highlights how big City and Pep are under pressure. They're just another level compared to the ops. The thing is, and I'm going to say this probably many times throughout the show, and thanks for everyone tuned in. Hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button if you've been here before and you like the content. And again, if you're new, subscribe. Those of you maybe enjoying this on Twitter X, take a second. I know you got another device. Take a second. Go find it. Desktop, your burner phone. Go to YouTube, find Vader Games TV. Hit that like button. Subscribe. We don't brand enough. We're not the media darlings, okay? We know that. That's Liverpool. We're not the PR machine like a Liverpool, like an Arsenal. We're not the commercial brand club like Manchester United, the Reds, Notice all three, the red cartel. Notice. We don't have that level of PR, marketing, branding. We don't do it like them. All right. And it's a little bit of a disservice, right? Because we go along our business. Maybe it's because we're just dialed in with football. That's why we've been so successful. But when you're just focused on football, you have that success. But the awards, the recognition, the branding in terms of mentality monsters, wrongly given to Liverpool. I'm rebranding them, and I'd like you, if you guys happen to be on other channels, you'll know. Message it in the chat. You know how you've been asked to, or you've seen ops ask, "Hey, spam 115 in the chat." Oh, spam. Just last week, spam wolves in the chat. Woo, they were howling like wolves going into that game. They want to spam all of that. I'm gonna say this: mentality minions. Heard it here. You heard it here. Mentality minions is what the mentality monsters were labeled, but should have been labeled. They should have been labeled mentality minions, and they're looking like minions right now. I spoke about this on Flawless' show, Sarcasm City TV. They gave up. The mentality monsters, the ones that were pursuing a quad, they gave up on their season mad early. And Dre P, I agree with you. They're moving comfortably now. They're getting these wins now. There's no pressure on them. My gal Rose, what it do? Hello from Norway, Rose and Rose. If your name is Rose, I call you my gal. It's just the default. Although, oh, Rose, please, Rose, my gal, Rose, please don't take that as a, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, don't take it as that. You're still my gal, but you know what I mean. Section 20 UI, what it is? Good evening, Blues. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to all the Blues in the chat. Shout out to Ops in the chat. Shout out to just those of you stumbling upon this channel. Much appreciated. Sean C, hello from England. Listen, hello, representing out here in Toronto. We got some battles going on. I don't know if you've been in the news, but you know, Drake's been fighting it. Alfonso Davies should have been in that UCL final. Lots been happening, but we represented nonetheless. And I'm gonna do my thing out here in Toronto. DC, what it do? Sky Blues. All right, the love's in the chat. Now, let me go on to say, oh, look at this one. Let me shout out this op. And you know what? Her name is fitting. Her name's fitting. She's an opto. She's on the other side of the street. She's the one that accused us of being noisy neighbors, but I'm gonna show her some love regardless. Sunshine in the building. She goes, "I'm at work. I hope your stream goes well. Fraud. Ha ha ha." Okay. You know what, Sunshine? Go listen. Even though she's an op, go check out her channel. She does late streams because she's out on the West Coast. Funny perspective. Now I think it's all fun. Now's the time to laugh at the ops. Now's the time to laugh at United fans. And her in particular, I'm gonna point this out. Her in particular, she's desperate. She's desperate for City not to win 4. She's desperate for it. And recently, how poor her team's been, she couldn't even contain her anger and frustration. She actually had to speak. She actually had to whisper yell. Have you ever heard someone whisper yell before? It's absolutely hilarious. Go and check out her channel. I think she might have posted on the socials. Check out her whisper yell. All right. And those of you that haven't not done it before, I've never done it myself, but the whisper yell is hilarious. Go and check that out. Dre P in the building. I would have argued that Arsenal have not replaced Liverpool. Dre P, what are you doing? Dre P, you're getting far ahead. Maybe I should read these comments before I even post them up. But I'm gonna get to all of that. I just want to shout out those of you that are in the chat early, showing the love. Letty in the building, you know what it is. Saying hi to the Blues as well. Now I'm gonna get into it. Who first time in the chat, Andy? You know what it is. We're going to get into it. Now, topic-wise, because I got the timer, I'm going to run through this. I want to be smooth. We're already 12 minutes in. Let's keep this nice and flowing. Let's keep it nice and flowing. Now, start the timer. Let's make it official. And as we start this timer, we're also going to do this. Vader game. All right, nice and clean. Let's go. Great home win. Great home win versus the Wolves. And best believe you had these frauds. You had these frauds, Liverpool fans, United fans, definitely Arsenal fans, all becoming Wolves supporters on the day. Disgusting. Disgusting. All became Wolves supporters. And you know what? I'm going to be real with you. Wolves should have been respected because they got a result against us early in the season. I know it's different. It was an away game, but nonetheless, they got a result against us. And I was confident that we were going to win this game. I did not expect the game that we got. I did not expect to score 15 minutes into the game. I didn't expect I'll be real with you. I didn't expect Haaland to go off for 4 goals. I didn't. Is that a symbol? Is that a vision? Is that like foreshadowing something? The fact that he scored 4 goals. I didn't expect Haaland to do that. But in terms of like performance, really happy with it. In terms of starting lineup, I was really happy with that as well because we're seeing where Pep doesn't need to have this is my 11. Pep can have, based off of the opposition, based off of maybe some rotation I want to give these players. I mean, we're playing 1 game a week now until next week when we have to play Spurs. And we'll talk about the Spurs game. We'll talk about the Spurs game next week. But the fact that we went into this game showing the rotation that we did and having the performance of 5-1, and I didn't expect a clean sheet. I was telling maybe 3-1. I said 2-1, maybe 3-1 when I was doing some predictions. And I don't like doing predictions. You guys wonder or ask me, Vader, the way you move, you're always the underdog. You don't want to give predictions. The reason why I don't want to give predictions is I don't do this surface level cookie cutter ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff. I know my opposition, they have 11 players that are trying to win, just like I have 11 players trying to win. So I want to see how they line up, who's available. And the same thing goes. Pep roulette, y'all want to talk about. Pep might do a little switch up, might be still trying to implement something different. I wanted to see the 11 that you have available, but we had a very strong 11. I don't need to run through the names, but once you have Ederson, that's a plus for us. Him being back is actually huge. Haaland being back, and we had Haaland, Foden, KDB, and Bernardo up front. When you got Rodri and Kovacic nice and calm, you know that we're going to control that midfield. Rodri doesn't have to cover too much of the pitch. And the fact that we have Gavardio, worth every penny, by the way. Nathan Ake, underrated. Akanji, probably the best buy of last season and showing his versatility this season. And then you got Walker, tried and true. So when we have a bench, and they were used this game with the John Stones, right? With the Grealish, with the Doku, Alvarez came on and scored. Mateus Nunes, he's still trying to find his way. I have not, and I will not give up on him. I'm not giving up on Nunes. I know it's not the sexy signing that many expect off of a 3-peat treble winner, but it's really not what we do. I mean, we went out and got Haaland, which was huge, but we don't typically do that in the summer transfer window. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Even you ops, let's understand. We don't go and get the big name. Haaland's the one we did. And we haven't done something like that in a really long time. So I was really happy with how we played. Now, what we will do in this game versus Fulham, I ain't talking about yet. I'm not talking about that. Look out for me whether I feature somewhere else. That'll be a conversation, and I like to do it closer to game day. But home win 5 versus Wolves. Now, why do people still want to do the I can see City dropping points thing? I think it's forced now. I think it's really forced. Like, it's their own version of copium. Maybe it's what they have to do for their content when they got to throw in that, I see City dropping points. It's no problem to say I don't expect City to drop points. The same way all of you are really quick. And when I say all of you, I'm not talking about us. I'm not talking about the Blues. I'm talking about all you ops. The same way many of you want to talk about City being the favorites. It's okay to say City are the favorites, and you don't see them dropping points to close out the rest of the season. Now, if it happens, it happens. But it's sport. It could happen. Just water here, nothing else. Got to stay hydrated. I'm going to go to the comments before I move on to the next topic, because the next topic is the heavy one. And you see the imagery right here. Look at the verticality of this man. We're going to get into it, but let me go to the comments. And I'm going to start. Let me start by, where did I leave off? Okay, I see the star. DC goes, all good. Thanks, section. We'll probably see you later on Martin Show. Yes. Now, the Mancunian way, true City fan, pitch points. Make sure y'all still continue. I mean, I think I've got an idea on the final day that I'm going to be linking up with other Blues. I think it's going to be something epic to do. But definitely go and check out others that have been on this channel, that you see me on the channel, and go support them as well. All right, let me go. True City fan in the building. He goes, yeah, Vader. Patrick, True City fan. Hope you're well, man. Got some content to do coming up. It's gonna be hype, and I got a plan. We'll share in the group chat. Trey P goes, agree, Vader. City don't brag. We don't, and I don't even think we should. We shouldn't be braggadocious. I do like how the Twitter X account does, not necessarily self-promote, but makes everyone aware of what's happening. Win streaks, undefeated streaks, goals scored, certain records like that, like things that have never been done or things that are close to exceeding what's been done. I like how they do that. City do the talking on the field, 100%. Like that quote, any king who needs to keep on saying I'm the king is no real king. It's true. I agree 100%. Singing the blues, yes, mate. What it is. Oh, got that reminder. 1 second. All right, sneaking in the middle of the workday. Now, Rose, my gal, Rose. Hope you're well. Hey, Vader, you have enough love to go around. Appreciate you being on the show today, and I hope you enjoy what we're going to be breaking down. Now, hey, yo, Vader, don't get me started on the Drizzy and no, listen, that's another time. That's another time. I could talk about that for hours as well, because another time. All right, what we got? Joe Chill. She's got a great TikTok too. Yes, support Sunshine FC. Her TikToks are hilarious despite being an op. Go check that out. And sometimes even an op, go and laugh at them. It's still a view, right? Go and interact, comment. She can hold that. Facts. Yeah, the whisper yelling's hilarious. All right, let me go. Now, section goes, this is City's favorite part of the season. We've been here in this position for so many times over the last decade that we know how to handle the pressure. Section, not only does the club know how to handle it, the players, the manager, but the fan base. Notice how we move. Notice how we interact. Notice how we speak amongst each other and even amongst ops. Like, it's never ridiculous over the top. And my last video, my 115, one question, 15 minutes, I had to stress that for some of the fans, for some of us, we just need to make sure that we stay grounded, make sure we understand the perspective and the context that we're in with regards to success, and it maybe not being at this level, still pursuing success, still wanting the best of our players, of our club, but understanding that we're not in a bubble. We're playing against other clubs, and other clubs are trying to get better. So it's understanding all of that. All right, let me put a star here. I'll try to keep track on the remaining topics. But actually, let me say this real quick with Singing the Blues. DC actually goes, What a signing, Gavardio. Facts. Every penny. Worth it. Worth it. All of you that were chirping, talking way too much, talking early about Gavardio not being worth it. What is Pep doing? You guys waste money with your summer transfer all across the board. They tried to say Gavardio. They tried to say Kovacic. They tried to say Nunez. They tried to say Neves. All poor signings. They are delivering. They are delivering. And if it weren't for a Real Madrid, we would have still been in the Champions League. And let's see what may have happened versus Bayern. And hey, we're on our way to possibly winning a fourth, or on our way to possibly winning an FA final. Like, these signings aren't as bad as they're trying to make it seem. We do miss Gundogan 100%. We do miss Mahrez, but come on. In my opinion, City fans' superpower is win and we're humble, lose and we're calm. Singing the Blues couldn't have said it better. That is a great quote, by the way. A great quote. Gavardio improves everybody. And this, you see how calm he is on the ball? And this is year one. Like, it's going to be a long season for you ops next year. I'm telling you, it's going to be a long season. Fake hope keeps the viewers for them. That's true. That's true. You got to sell that fake hope sometimes. Haaland has bunnies. Dude's unreal. Haaland has bunnies, LOL. What am I missing here? Oh, because he's jumped. Because he's jumped so high. He's got springs. Is that it? Hopefully I got that right. Now, we got Biss in the building. I am not saying that, but he wants to say Arsenal. I'm not singing it the way you want it to be sang. But we're going to get into this topic. Now, let me do this. Let me put this here. Let me do that. All right. We have to talk about this, man. We have to talk about it. Rivals are probably not going to like this. So, Rivals.
Can you earmuff it for me? We are going to get so...
Let me do that for you guys. Because you're not going to want to hear what's happening right now. You're not. I know this. Haaland scores 4. Have you noticed a change in his approach, in his delivery? I know it's the business end of the season, but ever since that Manchester United pundit, apologies for those of you listening, not watching, I had to take a sip of water. Roy Keane had to talk sideways about Erling Haaland. And we know the beef that he has, even going back to Haaland's father. But ever since those comments, Haaland's been on a mission. He's now reestablished. Well, you didn't even have to reestablish because he always held it despite being out for 2 months. But he's calmly at the top of the goal scoring list. He's a leader. That golden boot's coming. But he's been a man on a mission. And I'll be honest with you. Let me know in the chat. Did you expect 4 coming from him? I don't. I did not expect 4. But what I do love with the 4 that he had to score is, can you guys remember when we were so poor at penalties? Do you remember even when we had the likes of Aguero, Gundogan, Mahrez, Sterling, KDB, we weren't sure with the penalties. We weren't confident. Players standing over that ball, we weren't confident. Because we've seen Mahrez miss. We've seen Aguero miss. Most recently, we've seen Bernardo Silva. But I remember, and I wish I remembered the game, but there's one game where Mahrez took the penalty instead of Haaland. That has not happened since. Haaland is our penalty taker. And again, for him to be able to do what he's done for us in terms of mentality, in terms of confidence, in terms of aggression in the attack, they can downplay what Haaland means to this club as much as they want. I wanted trouble because of him. Of course, other players had to contribute, but the importance of a Haaland, of a killer striker, world of difference. And again, the reason why I wanted to talk about Haaland keeps dunking on the doubters and haters is because you can try and box him and say he's not this, he's not that. But you can't say he doesn't score goals. You can't say that he doesn't score goals quicker and faster than anyone else, anyone we've seen. Let's be real. That's a skill. That's something that he obviously works on. It's not a God-given talent. He's worked on this. And his 4 goals that scored, yes, 2 were penalties, but the other 2 were very, very different. Very different. Look at how this man skied, delivered that header. And then look at how he calmly danced with that ball a little bit, shifted it, finessed, curled it, got the goal. Y'all downplay y'all as much as you want. We just recently watched the UCL, and for the record, I'm not watching the UCL final. And maybe that'll be a bonus conversation before I close this out. But I'm not watching this UCL final for a few reasons. But they wanted to say, I gotta crash it on Harry Kane for a little bit. They want to say, oh, put Harry Kane into a Manchester City. He does what Haaland does. Put Harry Kane on any club but Spurs, and he'll be even more successful. Damn lie. Great hypothetical. Great idea. Great theory. But we know there's a different aura. You can understand that. There's also like a different presence. This man, Erling Haaland, his ringtone was Champions League theme song. This guy doesn't shy at big moments. He doesn't. Now, if rivals want to talk about he's ghosted, he's not ghosted. He's still doing what he needs to do in terms of being of importance, being a headache, causing issues for the defense. Now, when the defense chooses to make sure if I'm losing to Manchester City, I'm losing not by the hands of Erling Haaland, then what are you going to do? That's when you get a brilliant, magical moment from Rodri. Nice curler to get past Inter. That's when you get moments like these. For those of you that want to continue to be doubters and haters on Haaland, you're going to continue to get dunked on. It's a fact. Erling Haaland is that guy. He's made such a huge difference, and we missed him this season. Those 2 months that he was out, we missed him. Now, I'm gonna go to the comments before I move on to the next topic. But anyone out there still doubting Erling Haaland, you have a problem. Let me see where do I go to for this. I think Joe goes, yes, LOL, former basketball guy here. Hey, basketball, NFL, NBA. The funny thing is, when you watch multiple sports, there's actually some things that you see within those sports that you're like, oh, I think that could apply in English football or world football. There's many things that you can see and make different. Section goes, Balotelli was our only reliable penalty taker since Franny Lee. He never missed. Listen, Balotelli doesn't get credit for that little hezza. That hezza that he has before he scores on the penalties, he doesn't get credit for that. Look at him. He's my originator. He's my originator with that. And he was so calm. He was cold-blooded. Balotelli was cold-blooded. And the shout out to Franny Lee, I'm gonna accept that. Singing the blues. Sorry, I had to run back now. No, all good. Love as always. Erling. So Letty wants everyone to know. Erling is a killer, top gunman, sharpshooter. He's a gunman. He's a shata. Listen. Every team would want an Erling Haaland on their team. Every op would want him. Don't dismiss it. Real Madrid. There's a reason why Real Madrid were so desperate for him. He's of quality. Blue Heart goes, good evening. Sorry to be late. Listen, don't apologize for being late. You're here now. And what I like is that you took time to comment. Hopefully everyone is also taking time to hit that like button. All right, we got a few more topics to go through. And I want to respect all of you. Everyone showing love. Hope all is well. 100%. Singing the Blues goes, Haaland is a big man, but he plays like a speedy finisher. So it's nice to see a big guy. Yeah, the big guy's header. 100%. The fact that there's still elements of his game that can evolve, because I think he would honestly tell you, you know what, I can be better at heading. For him, he likes to actually do those acrobatic, very, very vertical, try to get a foot onto the ball, right? I think he knows he can improve on his heading. Another thing is I would love to see him take take a few more attempts onto his right foot. And if there's anything off season, I'd like him to post up is the wrong word, but I'd like him to keep a little closer control into the box and make defenders worry about putting a foot in to get around him, to get the ball off of him. Not that he's going to be diving and winning fouls, but I would like that aspect for a defender to have to worry about when it comes down to him. Rose, Vader, as Haaland told Pep, May the 4th, May the 4th be you. I fully endorse. Wow, talk about talent and wit. Listen, Haaland, for this guy to be so nonchalant, and he's a humble player. For him to be like that, he's coachable. You know that he doesn't think he's the ish and nothing needs to change with his game. He is going to continue to be hungry to score more goals, largely because Pep is managing him in terms of like how much he exerts his energy on that pitch and trying to keep him healthy. And two, also recognizes that yes, you may be on the brink of scoring 5 or scoring 6 or 7 when it came down to like Champions League versus RB Leipzig. But I need to manage you from yourself sometimes. I need to kind of keep you hungry. I can't give you all of the sweets. I know you're going to be hungry for more, so let's ration him. He's rationing Haaland for that hunger. He's like an attack dog. I like it. Blue Heart. I wouldn't have said dunking, but it's less stinky than what I was thinking. Yeah, defecating. Keeps defecating on the doubters and haters. We could say that. Mike Dawes in the building. He's an op. He's a Liverpool op, despite his Abbey. And he's on board. He's on board with Manchester City winning this 4-peat for the legitimacy of the league. He wants Manchester City to win this 4-peat. Yes, sir. My brother in blue. Come on, City. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Mike Dawes in the building. Blue Heart. Bliss. I suggest you get to T20 cricket, mate. Football is boring. You don't believe that, Biss. Football's not boring. It's just getting heated. It's just getting heated. Egal in the building. Shout out to Egal. Vibes from the 6. You see me featured on that tomorrow. My guy, fellow Canadian out in the UK doing his thing. Arsenal fan, he's an op, but we don't hold that against him. It's Canadian. That makes him that's more the pure side of him. You know what I mean? Just mess with you. Edison. Now Edison, AC Milan fan. Big football guy. Gamer as well. He goes, I'm not downing Erling, but since that UCL final, he's been different and lacking. Has he? And he's been injured for 2 months. Can't expect him to really keep the same level of what he had last season. Come on, Edison. Come on. But I hear you. I hear you. Blue Heart. Like Phil Foden, Erling is a killer sniper. Yes. Phil. We have Phil. We have Erling Haaland. Absolutely amazing. And let's not forget, guys, we also have Julian Alvarez, who was that was the 5th goal versus Wolves. That was the 5th goal versus Wolves. We're blessed with quality. And for Pep to keep everyone on the same page, again, these are all players. Players have egos. All players want to play. But for what Pep's had to do with man management has been absolutely fantastic. So let me put a star in this. Apologies for not getting to all the comments just yet. I want to keep things flowing. So let me do this. And I'm going to have to do that. Vader game. All right. Now, listen. Fulham's going to be a key game. Fulham is a key game. And should it be the game that we're nervous about, worried about? I don't know if we need to go that far in terms of being nervous. This game takes place Saturday. So May 11th. For me, that's a 7:30 game. 7:30 a.m. game for me. All right. So I think we should all, as Blues, be confident going into this game. Who knows what Pep's going to do with regards to a lineup? Who knows who they're going to have available to play? They've been a difficult side for the other top six this season. They do have quality over there, but we've had a week to prepare. There's really nothing I can say other than we should expect to win. Does it need to be a sexy repeat of a 5-1? No. The fact that we had the 5-1, was it helpful? Yeah, it was very helpful. I mean, we kind of chipped away at we did we even chip away at the goal differential? Not No, we didn't. Because Arsenal won 3-0. We ended up winning 5-1. Oh, I guess yeah, we chipped away with one. Yeah, we chipped away to the goal differential with one. Oh, the difference right now is, if I remember correctly, 54. Let me look this up before I'm guessing. Yeah, our goal differential is 54. There's a 60. So we can get away. We can kind of get to it a little bit. It's not important though, because we just really need to focus on winning our games. But Fulham, let me know in the chat. Let me know comments. If you're watching live, let me know now. If you're watching on a replay, let me know after in the comments, because I do read and I do my best to respond to every comment. Let me know if you think Fulham should be causing problems for us. Or let me know if you think Fulham is the game we should handle. We have a week to prepare. And if you think it's going to be the remaining two games that we should really maybe have a concern or have our eyes on. Because obviously we play Fulham, and I'm not looking past them. This is the game we got to deal with. But if you're thinking, you know what, we've had a week to prepare, we can handle that. Next up, then we have a short week with regards to playing Spurs on the Tuesday, and then it's final Sunday. Final Sunday. For me, that's going to be 11 o'clock a.m. on final Sunday, and I've got some ideas with other fellow Blues that I want to try to execute. So hopefully it can happen. But let me know with regards to Fulham. I know rivals are going to try and make it seem like a result can happen, but I don't know. I really don't know. Do they have enough? No, but maybe that's when you need to be most worried. When it's a team where you're like, no, we should handle this comfortably, and that's when they kind of show up. Yeah, I don't know. Section wants to say, Fulham look like they're on the beach, flying kites at training. I don't. That's a funny visual, and I know it. I know it did happen. That's actually very hilarious. But maybe it's kind of like, you know what? Take a break, camaraderie, some jokes, some vibes, and then then it's still some serious training. Who knows? Who knows? Edison goes, Vader, take it from me who has experience. The small teams are the hardest ones in the end. It's true. It's true. I'm not looking past them. Edison, I am not looking past Fulham. We got to handle that game, but it's just going to be a short week. We handle Fulham on the Saturday, then we got Sunday, Monday, and we play Spurs on Tuesday. Tricky. It is a tricky week. It's a tricky week to go Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. But we'll deal. We'll deal. What is Joe goes, we have handled them regularly in recent matches, but away matches and early kickoffs can be tricky. It's true, Joe. It's true. 7 a.m. section wants to say, damn. Yeah, you know what? It's good because we get the win early, and I can enjoy the rest of my day, and I can watch the ops, have the ops on in the background, and everything's nice and calm. I can shoot a few messages to friends and be like, pressure's on. So yeah, we'll see. We just got to handle business. Blue Heart goes, a 4P would be like 4 aces. If we get it, we need t-shirts like cards, but spelling city like the A's at the aces. Woo! I love that. I love that. Listen, Blue Heart, make it happen. Link up with whichever Blues. They do some memorabilia. They make some crafts and things like that, and that needs to happen. You know what? A full a full For Pete branding needs to go out there because it would be epic. It's not something that happens often. It doesn't happen in football. Need it. We need it. Now, next topic. Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate all the love.
Vader game.
I don't even know if I'm going to spend the full 5 minutes on this topic, to be honest with you. Arsenal keep winning. They keep winning. You know what? I'm going to set up the show next time to actually put that on screen for you guys to see, because they just keep winning and winning and winning. The last time they took a loss was, they exited out of Porto, right? No, they won Porto. The last time they took a loss was, exiting out of Bayern. And before that, their last loss would have been Aston Villa. Yeah. And that was a tricky week, which I explained often. I said, listen, those short weeks with regards to Champions League and league play, those are going to be tough. And they did drop points against Aston Villa, but since then, they've been on fire. Since then, it's just been win, win, win. I know they didn't have the most confident win versus Spurs. A lot of them will tell you they were in second gear or whatever, but they allowed Spurs to get back into that game and end up being a 3-2. Now, they handled Bournemouth recently, but this next game is against United. I've seen it already. All these United fans are like, they've already given up. These bums. They're already given up. They're like, look at our form. Not talking about any fight. If it happens, maybe it's the magic of, I don't know, it's the magic of Old Trafford. Who knows? But these United fans make me sick. They make me sick. They're not even thinking about playing spoiler. They're not even looking at elements of their team or even possible tactics that they could do to get a result. Absolutely disgusting. I don't expect anything from it, by the way. As much as I say all of that, but I'm an op. I should be saying that. As an op, I should be like, no, nothing's happening. United are bums. But they themselves, United, are being like, nah, nothing's happening here. So all that being said, I'm looking forward to destruction. I'm looking forward to Arsenal fans just being relentless on United. Like, I want them to just humiliate, embarrass, shame. I want them to just be obnoxious. I want all of that. You know why? You know why I want that from Arsenal and Arsenal fans? Is because these same United fans are like, I can deal with Arsenal winning the league. Oh, if Arsenal happen to win the league, that's better because City don't surpass what I've done or what Arsenal once did or what Liverpool once did. Yeah. You want a winning Arsenal and that fan base. Okay. After this destruction from Arsenal on the weekend, I want United fans to feel it. I want them to get like a preview. Like like those trailers, those epic trailers that are just amazing. You're like, whoa, this is gonna be a wild movie. Got to check it out. I want United fans to just get a preview, just get a hint, just get a taste, just get a touch of what Arsenal winning this league is gonna be all about. I want it to be unbearable. I'm gonna stoke that fire, by the way. So this is gonna be an easy win for Arsenal, and they win easily because again, there's nothing expected. Everything in the media, everything's talked about like, oh, City are expected to win these games, not expecting much from Arsenal. Now that nothing's expected of Arsenal, they're winning. They're winning comfortably. They're getting results. It'd be interesting if pressure were to be on them, if this would still be the case. Like last season, when pressure was on them, they kind of fell away. But they're doing their thing. Now, I need that win from Arsenal. It's gonna be hilarious. Let me take this off screen. I need it. It's gonna be great quality content, and interactions. I can't lie. Let me see where we go for the topics. Blue Heart in the building. Oh, got some new people in the mix. Let me show some love. Rose wants to say, Vader, I'm looking forward to the match on Saturday with much optimism. Okay, I'm cool with that. I like that. Guys, be positive. No negativity. Now support the team. Yeah, Rose, I'd be surprised if there's a lot of negativity going through this game. I think there might be some nerves because they know that how close we are to the finish line. There might be some nerves, but there shouldn't be any negativity. Hopefully not. MJG, hello, my brother. What it is, and I like that Abby. Show those trophies. Dre P goes, I think United could be tricky for Arsenal. United may park the bus, which is hard to break down. Yes, they could park the bus, but Arsenal break them down. And the only hope that that United can maybe hang their head on is Old Trafford and some questionable calls. I mean, we went there, and I never expected to see a offside be called onside the way they did when we played them last season. So anything can happen, but I'm not expecting a United win at all, or even drop points from them. Kim will win comfortably, I'm assuming. I believe the team's ready and focused on the remaining games. Haaland firing. Yep. Been home. Been home in the brine 2 days. Okay, inside info. Ooh, I like that. Listen. Come to the channel more often. Hope we can interact. I don't know if this is going to be my time slot with regards to the day and time for the show, but that inside information, I'm with it. Blue Heart in the building. I need to tell Andy. Oh, Blue Heart. There's a story there. Interesting. This Ten Hag is obsessed with Arsenal, mate. Hey, if he gets a result versus Arsenal, it'd be very surprising. But Arsenal, you guys are winning. Arsenal, there you are. Now, another op, and I can't do my man's voice, but there's kind of like a roll of the there you are. That's Saad. Shout out to Saad's football corner. Arsenal fan, he's an op. It's gonna be a good summer. Now, Saad, listen. You feature on a few shows. When you destroy United, let them feel it. All right, Saad, come on, man. Be unbearable. Let men's like Staffy and Griggs let them know what you did to them. All right, that's what I need. That's what I need you to do. Blue Heart, United are making it look like everything is so pear-shaped. They can't be bothered about the FA Cup. Mark my words, they are up for the cup and going to give it everything. Even before the cup, though, it'll be interesting to see how they close out this season. And I'm very observant. Sorry, I know I'm going to be a little long-winded here, but I'm very observant. And I like to see, and they say, you don't judge a person during the good times. Think about that. You don't judge a person during the good times. You don't judge a person when the cameras are on or when people are around. You judge them when they're alone. You judge them during the hard times. You see what they do. Now, the way I've been seeing some of these United fans acting up, and they're only 10 years into their bad time, and it hasn't been like a steady bad time. It just hasn't been to their level, right? Their Sir Alex Ferguson level. I don't think that they would have. I know these United fans don't have the stomach. They don't have the muscle. They don't have the mentality of a Spurs fan, of an Arsenal fan, of a Liverpool fan. During their dark times, right? They don't have that. Look at City's dark times. They used to have a banner in Old Trafford 34 plus years without a major trophy. I know United fans, they don't got it like that. They don't got that core strength. They can't take those gut shots. They're just 10 years in, and they're going on loan to Real Madrid. They're going on loan to Arsenal. Never me. Never. Sorry, I got long-winded there. Section. United will get smashed, but we can hope that they get something. Nah, don't waste any hope on that. Section, don't waste any hope on that. They're getting smashed. Hulk smash. You know, when Hulk took Loki and just whipped them side to side, bam, bam, like bam, bam. That's what's gonna happen in this game. They're getting smashed. Saad, I hope you smash them like button. Yeah, smash the like button, Saad. You fraud. You fraud. There you are. There you are. I'm working on it. Don't hate me on that one. Section, United will low block the final and go long ball. Are we talking FA section? Are you talking about the FA Cup? We're not talking FA Cup final. If you're talking versus Arsenal, I can see that. I can see them doing low block, but they're doing low block at home, which is kind of to be doing that at home at Old Trafford. I don't know. JP, Arsenal fans should celebrate, but makes no sense for them to go over the top. First EPL in 20 years, should be grateful and not arrogant with it. JP, why are you bringing logic, man? Logic's not going to work here. It's been 20 years. They're starving. They're going to let everybody know they won it, and they're going to be winning the remaining 5. They're going to remind you that they've got young talent. They're going to remind you that they made quarterfinals in the Champions League. Everything's up and up and up, right? They're going to say Pep's leaving, so City's falling off. They're going to say United are going to be in disarray trying to find a manager. They're going to say Liverpool just bringing in Slot. What levels are they going to be at? They're going to be like Spurs. We always outperform, or they've been outperforming Spurs recently. So, and Chelsea, look at what that project is. Arsenal fans, I already know, I can already hear it. They're going to be unbearable. And I want them to make United fans feel it on the weekend. I need that. Joe, great stuff. Have to hop for work call. Love the show, bro. Yo, Joe, much respect, man. Much respect. And please, thank you. You got a chance to comment. Hopefully you hit that like button as well. Let me put a star because I got future comments to get to. Blue Heart. Rosemary, always keeping us straight. Trust me. Trust me. Rose is on point. Now, let me do this. Okay, let's reset that. Whew. All right. Vader game. We got to get into this. Liverpool keep winning without any pressure on them. They keep winning now that their fan base have pretty much said the league's over. They keep winning with like no expectations. Although I can't say that their last win versus Spurs was anything to really brag about. Alisson's supposed to be the best keeper in the world. Didn't look like that. Those 2 goals that he gave up. But I do want to point out that Liverpool got nothing to play for. Atalanta knocked them out of Europa, and they should have won Europa comfortably. Comfortably. That should have been theirs, right? They got this 6 UCLs. Like, them doing this should have been like a cakewalk. They got knocked out of that. They obviously crashed out of the FA Cup. They've got the Carabao Cup, however. You know, Trent Alexander wants to remind us it means more to win over there. They won that Carabao, so it means a lot. Probably going to have a parade over it. But ever since they've, quote-unquote, fallen out of this title race, which mathematically they haven't, but I know a lot would have to happen with regards to City and Arsenal dropping points. But ever since then, they're doing their thing. They won versus Spurs. They got this game coming up on. Do they play Sunday? I think they play Monday. I think they play Monday against Aston Villa. That's going to be a big game. That's an important game. But they just get to chill and watch and see what happens. But yeah, they've said that their league title hopes are over. And I think it's really disappointing. I've already rebranded them. They're mentality minions. I think they were wrongly labeled mentality monsters because mentality monsters it only resulted in a Champions League and a league. I mean, yes, since winning the league, they've gone on to win the FA Cup and 2 Carabaos. But mentality monsters, they are not. So the fact that they're out, it is what it is. It's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward. Again, things look really prime. And this is what I was saying to Dre P. Things look really prime for Arsenal to be overconfident and excited moving forward if they were to win the league this year. right? If they were to win it this year, I mean, we know what winning breeds, right? And then just the confidence, the mentality to know that they've gotten over the hump. But with Liverpool right now, bouncing back after that game versus Spurs, I think we should expect Liverpool to win the remaining games. They've got Aston Villa and they got Wolves on final Sunday. So I'm not even paying attention to them anymore. I mean, I'm gonna interact with my Liverpool peeps. You know what I mean? Like the people that I mess with, joke around with. I'm gonna, chat in those spaces, join some of their channels. But in terms of title talk, they're not in the convo anymore, and it's actually very disappointing. It's disappointing because you would have thought that there would have been a lot more pride, not only amongst the fan base, but the players themselves, because it's Klopp's last season. It's the final dance. He's trying to do that final lap, and he's only going to have the Carabao Cup with him. That's the only thing he's going to be able to like be happy for when they do. They have to do a farewell parade. There has to be a farewell parade. No, their greatest ever Prem manager. He's a legend. They have to do a parade for him. So I mean, it's disappointing. His last game is May 19th. That's when the season's over. They're out of the conversation, and I want to also point out the lack of pride and fight from Liverpool is disappointing in the sense that they're gonna. I get the conversation with regards to, oh, the only reason why Liverpool weren't more successful was because of Manchester City. I get that, but you got to hold the mirror up, or the magnifying glass, or the microscope. You got to go. You got to look. You got to really, really look at it, and notice when they've fell or when they've finished, not just behind Manchester City. I think the criticism, the impact, the hurt, the pain that fans will have with regards to Klopp's legacy is that he's fallen short not just behind Pep. He's going to be 2 seasons in a row falling behind, finishing behind Mikel Arteta. First managerial job. Arsenal. And many Liverpool fans called Arsenal their side chick. Arsenal used to be referred to. Now, listen, yes, I get it. I do my YouTube content, but I've also been, the Twitter Spaces. I've been in the Twitter Spaces streets. Shout out to my man Ads, Mr. E, Quid, Kurdish, Adil. I'm for Geo. I know I'm forgetting a few. Liverdelphia, Knack. Shout out to all my peeps on Twitter X. But Arsenal were referred to as Liverpool's side chicks. Liverpool side chicks. And for that to be how they were referenced to now finishing above them twice. Not a good look, especially for Klopp and the legacy and the whole conversation about pound for pound, he would have done this and done that, and he's he's possibly the best manager in the Prem. Had it not been for Pep, or if he had the available funds as a Pep, he would have done da da da. You could say all that, but Klopp's had the funds in comparable to some other managers that have finished above him. I think that's the biggest indictment on Klopp's legacy and why I happen to have him 7th, maybe 8th in terms of Prem managers of all time. You know what I mean? So had he not had those poor seasons finishing way behind Pep and behind other managers that quote unquote shouldn't be at his level, his legacy would have been a lot stronger. And I find it really disappointing that his last season is going to play out the way it is. I find that really disappointing. Let me reset this and let me get to the comments. We're going to be we're going to go on to the last topic. All right, let me see where we got. All right, here we go. Sean C in the building. Sean C in the building goes, "Oh, Jurgen Flop. That is clever. That is clever." Edison wants to remind me again. He's a Serie fan. AC Milan. He goes, Atalanta is balling. Hey, I'm not mad at that, and I trust your judgment on that. You're in the coaching field as well. But come on, let's be real though, Edison. Liverpool should have won. They should have put on a better show. They shouldn't have gotten slapped the way they did versus Atalanta. Let's be real. Section. They got over arrogant before they'd won anything other than that energy drink. It's true. When you get players like Trent, who they want to say is the best right back in the world when he can't defend just because he can spray some passes. When you got players like that saying it means more to win at Liverpool than at Manchester City, when you have players saying that it's one of four and things of that nature, it's absolutely disgusting. Oh, I also need to point out that with Klopp doing what he's done, with these players moving the way they've moved, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do when he's not here. Right? They're going to whether it was the manager getting the most out of these players or whether it was in this instance the players just not playing for the season, because it's interesting on how many of their healthy players came back, Allison, Trent, and their levels actually kind of dipped. They actually suffered that loss versus what was it, Crystal Palace. They just kind of fell off there. West Ham, they got that draw. You know what I mean? It was a lot of things got to get answered. Let me go to this comments. Blue Heart goes, we can't allow Arsenal to plant their flag on our 4P. I agree. That, you know how long, I don't even have to say, how long it takes to get to a 4P, but this is crazy to pass up on this opportunity. I think this is what has so many of the players so hungry. I don't want to say that it's a silver lining being out of the Champions League because I wanted that as well. But to have that disappointment and to just be redirected to we can't let this league slip. Yeah, we can't let Arsenal mess that up. They've canceled the parade, I think. They canceled the parade for Klopp. That's disappointing. I think for what he's done for Liverpool, he deserves one. This, regardless of the season, I think career at Liverpool, I think he deserves a parade. I could be wrong. Sean C's laughing. Section goes, started calling them nearly Pool, the bridesmaids FC. That's a good one. To say Klopp is the best Liverpool manager ever is delusional, or they are just too young. No, I'm not saying that. Edison, not the best manager ever, but Prem. He's their best manager in the Prem, hands down, no question. Before him, they didn't have a Prem title, and he gave them a Champions League. Then I know they had 5 before that, but he gave them a Champions League. Sean C goes, they should parade the Energy Cup through. After all, it's worth 5. Yeah, for Liverpool, it's worth 5 cups, 100%. Blue Heart, y'all are vicious in the comments. Klopp's been good for the Prem, but being fair, I'm more keen on seeing Sven walk the teams out for the last game of the season against West Ham. On the last game, I don't even think. Okay, I'm with you. Just a girl who loves Spurs. Big up. What it do? Hey, you can't choose who you love. Plain and simple. Love in the chat. Egal in the building. He goes, yo, send me the link. He wants in on the link. I was trying to keep this show. You know what? I'm going to send Egal the link. I'm going to show Egal. Those of you know Egal, check him out. Egal talks football, Arsenal fan. I'm going to send him the link. It's very unusual. Why always me? Blues, we do our thing, Blues. You know what I mean? Obviously, ops in the chat, we kind of interact, but this is the first time ever on Why Always Me that I'm going to have an op available to chat. And I think it's going to be fair with regards to this last topic. Arsenal have replaced Liverpool. We're going to make that the last topic. He's going to be on the clock, and we're going to have that combo. Let me do that real quick. Those of you in the chat, I'm going to get to your comments as well. Let me see here. What? Almost forgot my passcode for a second. Now, do you guys agree with me that Liverpool have been replaced by Arsenal? Or am I talking? I'm talking mess. I usually have my phone on silent, except for alarms and emergencies. All right, I just sent him the link. Now let me go to the comments. King goes, Klopp announcing he's leaving back in Feb/March made the players doubt more than they would. I agree. Have if they had waited on. I think it was a. I think the timing is poor. I think they probably could have managed things better if it was internal. So there's an internal announcement, and that could get everybody on the same page, and then they can be more of like a fortress. All right, I see Egal backstage, so I'm gonna bring him forward. But that could be more of a, we're gonna deal with things internally despite the rumors that may happen. But once it became like confirmed, yeah, then it was a problem. Let me bring my man. So I'm gonna bring my man Egal. Egal talks football. Respect him highly. And for this last topic, he's gonna be in the mix. So let me do this nice and clean. Vader game. Egal in the building. What it do, man? How you been? You're on mute.
We've been meaning to have a conversation without everybody else in the panel there and thing. I feel like we always have back and forth, but we never really speak about the actual main thing. You know Arsenal have replaced Liverpool. We don't have to discuss that in the sense of the league position. This for the last two seasons,
okay.
You can see where we are and what we're doing, and you can see the direction we're headed in. Now, the reason why I'm on here today is because you can't sit here and say why always me. You the whole premise of the show, I get it. It's why always me.
Yeah.
But as a City fan, how can you act like a victim?
Where's the victim portion of it? Why always
me is something that someone would say if they're a victim or if they feel like they're being victimized.
There's moments where it's why always me. Why is the attention different on Manchester City? Why is the attention different with regards to how we do things when others have done it themselves? More importantly, let me even go back to why always me when City have been spending money to be successful, and it's been no different to when you were at your most successful, to when Liverpool were at their most successful, to when United were at their most successful. That's one of those examples where now that City's doing it, it's a problem. Why always me is also like, you know what? I find that I often have a perspective, and many of the Blues in the chat have a perspective that's like totally opposite to the ops. So the why always me isn't necessarily a victim thing, but it's like, why are we always so different? Why are we always so different to the others? And that's kind of like where it comes from. Now,
okay. I need to address that. First of all, the reason why it's different is because outside of Manchester United, nobody has pure hatred for you guys. You actually have West Ham working to lose by like 4 or 5 goals. You have City, you have Spurs twerking to lose by 4 or 5 goals because they don't want Arsenal to win. The only team that might not actually be twerking for you guys is Fulham. But even them, they released a video. They're facing you guys this week, and they released a video of who their player of the year is, and they all voted for Phil Foden. When you say, oh, there's different energy for City, it's because when you win, it almost seems like it's a win for rivals. You have Chelsea fans and Spurs fans celebrating in the fact that you're going to win because it's going to take away from Liverpool or Arsenal. You have Man United fans are the only people who probably will feel some sort of pain that you win. And Chelsea fans, they don't care that you guys have overtaken them in trophies. They literally cheer you guys on to overtake them in trophies. So when it comes to acting like people don't like City, the problem is there's not enough people who think like me that want to stop City. Most people are like, you know what? They're rooting for City. Even when Liverpool were going up against you in league titles, I wasn't sitting here saying Liverpool, you guys are saving City from you guys are saving football by making sure Liverpool lose. To me, it wasn't a rivalry. It was a one-sided thing.
Okay. So when it comes down to, and I'm gonna be real with you right now, all the Reds, you've heard you guys referred to as the Red Cartel. United fans want you to win, Egal. Liverpool fans want you to win, Egal. Your main guy that you interact often with, Hussam, Liverpool fan, huge man knows his thing. He's got his opinions often on the football terrace. He wants you guys to win. Obviously, every Arsenal fan wants you guys to win. The Red Cartel are all linked up. They're all linked up to win this. And you could argue that the fan base of Arsenal, Liverpool, and United are probably the largest in England. All three of you guys are combined, unified like Avengers. You guys don't want City to win this. And it's selfish. You know why it's selfish? It is hugely selfish because we need to see something that's never been done before, Egal. When you won your three-peat, I believe it was in the 30s. When Liverpool did their three-peat, I believe it was in the 60s or 70s. When United did it, obviously, is more recent. Give the world four. Give the world four-peat. You guys can go on and win it next season. Go on and win it next season.
No, this is you're making it seem like City doing a four-peat benefits the league. It actually lowers the quality of the league.
Oh my goodness! Why would a new record lower the quality?
Having a team have domestic dominance over the league 4 years in a row almost diminishes the competitiveness of the league, because this is one of the most competitive leagues. We're actually going to the final days, potentially. This is the penultimate weekend. If you were to drop points, I think you guys would try to smash Tottenham and West Ham by a ridiculous amount just to try to get the goal difference and still try to win the league.
No, honestly, I'm not even looking past with regards to Spurs and beyond that. But this game versus Fulham, I'm gonna tell you,
they're gonna
drop
roll
points.
Over for you.
Drop points don't need to happen for it to be dramatic on the final day, though, because all we need to do, because honestly, if we drop with a draw or loss, if we lose, it's your league. If it's a draw, it's tied, and you still win on goal differential.
1 second. Yeah. Somebody said in the chat, "Don't be bitter." Am I supposed to root for you? The exact opposite of me. That's won the league so many times. You've won the league so many times. You just won the Champions League. You've won 3 league titles in a row. We're on a 20-year league title drought, and you're telling me I'm bitter? It's not bitter. It's I want my team to succeed, and if it means
but you're being bitter. You're being bitter from a league standpoint. The league. Think of what the league could do promoting that a four-peat has been won, never done before. Think of all of the storylines that they could have.
Nobody cares.
Why would no one care? If you won a four-peat, you think no one would care?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, City win a four-peat, it will not be spoken about as much as Arsenal not winning the league.
Oh, there we go. That's the bitterness that's in the chat.
No, that's not bitter. That's the truth.
No, that's bitterness.
You did a three-peat last year. Nobody talks about it.
What are you talking about? Of course they are. That's why no one wants us to win a four-peat, because they don't want that in the atmosphere again.
Nobody talks about the three-peat anymore.
Egal, Netflix came to us and bought our footage, bought our in-house video coverage for a Netflix special, Together Trouble. That's off of a three-peat. Guess what they do off of a four-peat?
Ask me if I watched it.
Why would you watch it?
Why would I?
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to know what greatness is. You don't want to know what it means to win 3.
Let me ask you this. Did you watch the All or Nothing Arsenal?
I've watched every All or Nothing. I've watched every one. I watched the Spurs one. Obviously, I watched the City one because we did it, right? I watched the City one, then I watched the Spurs, and then I watched you.
I didn't even watch your full All or Nothing.
Yeah, that's the problem. You need to see. Even
I've seen segments.
Listen, if you're going to
seen the segment when you were about to sign Van Dijk and Harry Maguire, you said no. I've seen the segment where Arteta and Klopp are yelling at the players. I've seen the relationship between him and Arteta. But when it comes to the whole thing, I didn't really have the time for that. Now, City, you guys win the league. I genuinely believe if you do win the 4P, it will be downplayed, like they always downplay City. But it's a problem.
Mm.
People need to stop downplaying City's achievements and trophies and silverware as if it's meaningless, because they're lying to themselves. It's copium for people who are not competing with you. And Liverpool fans, and Arsenal fans should know that you guys are the biggest threat every single year. Everyone should know that by now, and everyone should be trying to stop you week in, week out. But I don't see the same level of vim
You
when
know
you
what?
face a West Ham, when you
let me say-
face Crystal Palace, when you face these teams. I don't see that same level of vim that I do when I see them face Arsenal or Liverpool or Man United, and that partly has to do with your club not being historically up there for that many years. That almost like you don't have as many opposition, so you don't have as many people who are really, really, really up for each game to beat you guys.
The problem is we're not an arrogant fan base. We're not loudmouths. And that is part of it in terms of the calmness that rivals have with regards to us, right? And
And psychologically,
well, psychologically, some of them believe that you can't beat us. They've already kind of conceded and said, you know what, City are winning this.
Liverpool, yeah.
Liverpool 100%. I don't know if you caught this, but they're mentality minions. They're little soft, squishy, no muscle, no threat. That's what they are. Can barely speak. That's what they are right now. Mentality minions. But
Minions. Wow.
minions. Now,
You seen Trent's interview right after they lost to Palace?
I saw him say he doesn't see City losing this league. I saw that.
Yeah,
And that's the minion mentality
the next couple games.
That's the minion mentality I'm talking about. But I'm gonna say this because I kind of agree with you with regards to this whole mentality thing, because I saw it and I addressed it on the Football Terrace just the other night. I didn't like how all of these rivals only don't look at Real Madrid as a problem or a threat. They're actually happy for the success that they continue getting in the UCL. They've conceded, oh, go on and win 14, go on and win 15, 16. That's the mentality I agree with. You shouldn't concede to that. Now, do I want the ops to all fight?
But wait, we should want you to win a 4-peat? You're contradicting yourself.
What do you mean you should want it?
You're
You
basically
shouldn't want
saying
it. No, you're a rival. You shouldn't want it.
so then why should the Premier League want it? Why should anybody want 15 Champions League? Why should anybody want a 4-peat from City? In actual reality, people should want Arsenal to win their first league title in 20 years. People should want Chelsea and Man United to get back to a level where they're competitive again. People should want better teams at the top end of the table.
No.
Even if it means your team doesn't have as much.
No, I'm saying no to all of that. You should want a competitive league, flat out. I'm saying you should want a we do have that. Even with City winning 4, we do have that. Now, what I'm saying is 4 is very different from 15. 4 is very different from 8, from 10. That's the point I'm trying to make. The UCL is a joke right now. A lot of the rivals look at the UCL and it's a joke. I'm honest. I'm being honest. I'm not watching it. June 1st, I'm not watching that Champions League. I already know what the result is. It's Real Madrid getting a questionable call and they're winning the UCL. They got 15. Facts. Don't listen, go back, clip me up, and on the day, June 1st, tell me, oh, you know what? Yeah, there was a questionable call in the first half or second half. Real Madrid won the Champions League. I already know it. I already know the script. But listen.
So are you saying it's rigged for Real Madrid?
I'm saying Real Madrid seem to get some very, very favorable calls.
Don't you though?
No, I don't.
No
more than you.
Don't you?
No more than you, Egal. Don't do that face.
Did you not see Phil Foden trip over his own feet and get given a free kick, then end up scoring from it against Brighton?
He tripped over his own feet. What are you talking about? He got fouled, tried to stay up, and then fell to ground. Very different.
Wait. How did he get fouled when the player's in front of him and didn't touch him?
The player did touch him. And then he tried to keep his balance and then went down. And the free kick doesn't dictate that it's a goal. There's a lot of things that happen with regards to that. Should he have been rewarded a free kick? Yes. That's where. And listen, when we want to talk about, the back and forth thing. And honestly, everyone in the chat, Edison, Blue Heart, all of my blues. This is one thing I'm doing next season. I did not do this season. I am nerding out. I'm geeking out, and I'm documenting all of the favorable calls that go for the ops' way, because for some strange reason everybody got an excellent tally of what happens for City, but no one seems to remember when things go in their favor for them. Egal happens to forget when Odegaard was doing and one and crossed the ball versus Liverpool and got a favorable call. Now
doesn't mean they go on to win.
What?
It doesn't mean they go on to win.
Did you go on to win?
No,
You didn't go on to win versus Liverpool. So what did you get? A draw?
a draw.
Okay, and if you didn't get that, if you did get a penalty in that situation,
It would have been 1-1
why would it have been 1-1?
because it wasn't. They weren't going to go up with that. They didn't score the second goal yet.
No, but why would it have remained 1-1 if they were to score a penalty?
No, they would have scored even if they scored.
Yeah.
At that point, it was 1-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, but everyone makes the assumption that they would have scored the other goal. Now, when you use that same reality, though, Egal, if my instance where Foden happens to win a questionable free kick and scores, why does it mean that the other team wouldn't have scored or would not have conceded
you
another
still would
goal?
have ended up winning. Let's be honest.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. The back and forth with regards to questionable calls, I find it's kind of played out. It's kind of played out, but I'm gonna keep a tally next season because I'm not gonna let this run again.
It's not easy. I tried keeping a tally of.
Oh, I'm gonna keep a tally. I'm gonna geek out on it. Now, everyone in the comments, apologies. I need to be putting these on screen because I so much appreciate. And again, I was doing my best to keep this show at 115, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Egal, blessing. We're at 123. Egal, blessed to be on the channel. Has been great. It's the first time I've had an op on why always me. Man want to question why playing the victim. Don't play the victim, but he understands.
You do play the victim. You clearly said you do. Why always me is definition of victim.
No, it's not a victim. It's like why? Why is always me that's different?
Yeah,
why is it always? No, I'm not taking a victim. I'm not taking a victim side to it. I'm just questioning like why is it always happening?
Yeah,
why is this
always? Are you always the problem?
I'm not the. It's not a victim point of view. But let me get to the comments. Let me shout out Blue Heart in the building. He goes, teams should want City to win the 4P because it raises the bar. Facts. It raises the bar and brings a new challenge. Only losers would claim the 4P is nothing. Now, Egal, he's not saying that you're a loser, but you know what the 4P does, and you could agree to this. The 4P goes, Egal and his huge fan base, everybody on Egal Talks Football. Everybody. Yo, Cronkies, we need to level up. I just saw City win a 4P. We need to level up. I need a world-class signing this summer. We can't keep this. That's what happens after a 4P. Everything gets bumped up. And I get it. You don't want this. It makes sense. It makes sense. Liverpool fans, I don't get it. Why do you want Liverpool fans? I'm going to talk to you directly. Why do you want a novice manager, first time on the job, only getting success recently? Why would you want him in this short spell to be able to equal what your greatest, I'm not exaggerating here, your greatest Prem manager to do? He was only able to win one year.
Liverpool fans are split.
Arteta to do that in less than 9 years. I don't get the Liverpool fan base.
This is what I mean, Vader. This is what I mean. People don't care about City, and they need to care more. They need to care more because clearly Liverpool fans, some of them actually care, and they want their former title rival to be stopped, even if it means Arsenal equal the same level of Premier Leagues that they've had in the last 10 years. So that I respect that. The people who sit there and say, you know what, they become a cock for City, and they start saying, yeah, City have the best players, City win every year, you can't stop them, they're going to win it again next year, 5 peats on the table, and they bend over for you. Those are the people I have less respect for. So the people you're calling out are the people who I actually respect because they're standing on business. They're saying it doesn't matter if City are a team that have beaten us numerous times. We don't want them to continue to dominate. We need some change. I've never heard such a ridiculous statement in my life. Blue Heart, I don't know what you're talking about. Nobody cares about you guys doing a 4P in the sense that, oh, City go on to do a 4P, it benefits the league, it massively improves the Premier League's quality. No, it doesn't. What it actually does is it diminishes the quality of the league. It tells people there's one team that has had such a chokehold over the league.
So you think the same thing when it comes down to Champions League?
Yeah, having the same team constantly win, it diminishes the product.
Okay, so you have the same belief in Champions League, Real Madrid winning it for the 15th time. You're like, this is trash.
This is not good for the sport because it's actually diminishing the product. How have they won it 6 times in the last decade and a half? Like
Well,
it's
we saw the questionable call just the other day. We see how they
like we could talk about questionable calls, we can talk about all the other stuff, but they have a superiority complex. City currently have a superiority complex over a lot of teams in the league, and you don't have as many rivals. Real Madrid have a superiority complex over a lot of teams, and even when teams lose to Real Madrid, they clap them off like they're kings. So to me, I find it stupid. And I think City fans, you guys should enjoy this because nobody really gets at you guys as a fan base. The only thing they get at you for is 115, as you talk
Yeah,
about.
very true.
And outside of that, nothing. You don't hear about them in the build up to a big game. You don't hear too much lip from people. You don't hear
And
too much about
that's
your
why.
players getting disrespected. You don't hear about
No. Our players get disrespected. What are you talking about? We
listen,
got
as much as you hear Erling Haaland and Foden jokes here and there, relatively compared to the rest of the league, let's be honest, you've had some flop signings as of late. Some players that have flopped massively, like Calvin Phillips, not heard of as much as some of the other flops at other clubs. You've had this season alone, Doku's spoken about a lot. You for the first time,
rightfully so. Doku's been great.
yeah. No, he hasn't been that good
What? Oh my.
compared to what was expected. Also, Jack Grealish, £100 million signing, doesn't get
Yeah,
spoken about. If this was another club and you had £100
he's
million
been injured
signing,
He's been injured this year.
if you had £100 million signing that was not as useful as Jack Grealish was this season, you'd get much more criticism.
I think the criticism has been pretty balanced. Even when I look at Liverpool and their Nunes, when I look at what you guys were having to deal with Kai Havertz, and sometimes it's not even just the signing; it's just realizing what they're getting with regards to wages, right? Like Kai Havertz was your most paid player, and he wasn't performing at that level. Now he's delivering, so it's different. Jack Grealish delivered hugely for us last season. Now he's kind of fallen off. He's had an injury-plagued season, and I think it's because of the accumulation of games going for that trouble last season because Jack, KDB, and Haaland all suffered with injuries this season. I think it's because of the trouble pursuit last year. Now, we can do this show for hours, but unfortunately, time comes up because I do have to scoop up my kids from school. I have to scoop up my kids from school. But in the comments, and I didn't put every on the screen, it's been respectful. Yes, some jokes, some banter here and there, but Egal, always love on the show. Now, the conversation with regards to Arsenal and City will continue. We play early. For me, it's 7:30 in the morning. We play first. It's going to be questionable on whether you guys keep at that level. We're going to do our thing. Obviously, everyone in the chat, we're going to do our thing with regards to winning versus Fulham. We're expected to win. We should be winning, despite it being an away game. But
we'll talk about it tomorrow. Penultimate week.
We'll have to talk about it. Now, I want you guys to all, again, I believe Egal's channel is in the description of this video. So go on Egal Talks Football, find his channel, subscribe. Even though he's an op, we do some good work together. And I appreciate him being the first op on the channel of Why Always Me. Memorable historical night. Everyone in the comments, much respect, all respectful. And listen, section, Rose, Edison, Blue Heart, everyone in the building, section, Mohammed, new to the channel. Hopefully everyone has subscribed and liked, and the viewership's been great. Those of you on Twitter X, listen, before you leave, on Twitter X, go to your burner, go to your desktop, Vader Games TV, find it, like, subscribe. Love, bless, and we'll get back into it. Let me show the topics real quick before I shut down. We went through all of this on the show. Everything was addressed. Arsenal, Egal's own words, and I agree because it was one of my topics. Arsenal have replaced Liverpool. And there's no question. There's no question. Moving forward, new manager for Liverpool. So much consistency is going to happen at Arsenal. They spent big with Declan Rice. It's paying off. They're probably going to do some more moves in the summer and just strengthen. It's going to be City, Arsenal. We'll see who's going to try to step up and be the third, fourth moving forward. But Liverpool fans, it's been a pleasure knowing you and competing against you. But now it's on to the next. I'm Vader Games. This was Egal. We'll catch you next show.